Hey guys, it's 6 o'clock and we were a little bit earlier, but we had to get our lighting together, we had to get our seats together, and we had to get our drinks together. But I have with me Big L. How are you? I'm good. You feel okay? All right, we ready? So basically, I wanted to have him here with me because I've been looking at a lot of your social media. I've been seeing you doing a lot of big things, and I wanted to congratulate you in person. And of course, and I wanted to thank you for taking your time out to be here with me tonight. And not only are you here, but we have his family here, all his brothers, and his manager, right?
Yeah, that's my sister.
Okay, your sister's here. So it's like we got like a live audience. So I'm kind of like a little bit flustered. Like, but I'm happy that you guys are here, and I want to make sure that I let you guys know that I appreciate you guys being here as well. And we'll definitely have pictures at the end of this live so that everybody can see who all is with you. All right. So we can dig into some questions. You ready? All right, so I wanted to basically just have you go ahead and introduce yourself better than I can and give everybody a little background of your name and who you are and who you came from.
I'm Big L, aka Rio, born and raised in 130th Alville Gardens, West Pullman area.
And your zodiac sign.
I'm a Scorpio.
And he's a Scorpio. Also, I wanted you to tell everyone your title because I guess I wrote it wrong. I'm not sure on our poster before we go live. I always do a poster, kind of introduce who you are. But I wanted you to introduce your title and what you do.
Well, it's called executive protection, but most people know it.
There we go.
Bodyguard or personal security.
And how did your journey in the industry start? If you want to tell us about that, like your first gigs, and how that transpired, and what made you want to get into this.
Well, I always had a protective type mindset. I was born and raised off like being protective and everything. So, I mean, it just manifested to me going and starting off at the church, protecting the pastor, Reverend Derek Williams. Protecting the guys on the street sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I got a lot of brothers and sisters, but I got all my brothers we real close, so we always been moving militant. So it's a part of it's a lifestyle.
Yeah, I felt that energy too, because like he mentioned, because like I'm gonna have a few of my people with me, and I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm thinking like it was gonna be 2 people, and then when everything happened, I'm like, oh shoot, it's action right now, like. They have his back, and I really love that everybody's real knit family. That's what I was trying to say. I don't know why I said knit, but knit family. They're very protective, but very welcoming too. So I really like that. So you said you have a lot of brothers. How many do you have? Like, tell me about your family.
I got 21 brothers and sisters.
21.
Yeah.
Wow. Tell me the ages.
It range from 4 years old all the way to 43 or 42, I think.
So
42.
40. So who all who's personally here? Tell me a little bit about the people who you have with you today.
I got my brother Tunchi 2 times. I got my sister Ken. I got my little brother Zoe. I got little Easky over here. I got 40. I got my brother Pookie. And I got my little brother Elijah.
So you heard all that? We got the studio is filled today. So
you said everybody then.
Yeah, I hope so. We got all these lights we can't even see. I know. So you got 1, 2, 3.
All these
about
brothers,
6. Yeah.
brothers and sisters.
So you got all your brothers, you got all and your one sister.
Not all of them, some of them.
Right, some of them, because it's 21 total.
Yeah.
21 total. Do you guys see each other all the time? And do you bring some of them with you when you're working?
We fairly close, but everybody, it's 21 of us. So
right, so you can't always.
Everybody, got their own route in life, but we all, for the most part, we all close though, super duper close. We move like the mafia. I'm telling you, super.
Yeah, that's the kind of vibe I couldn't think of the word. I couldn't think of the word, and I don't know how you would feel if I would have said that, but that was definitely the vibe I got. Because like when you pulled up, I was like, "Why did you park so far away?" So then you came a little bit closer. But then as soon as you moved your car, they came. It was like off a movie, and I'm like, yes, like military, like it didn't break. And I'm like, who is that? And you wasn't worried. Obviously, they was with you, but I didn't know. So I was worried for you. Like, you need to watch your back, but they had your back. So
I got my six.
I love that. So my next question was, you've worked with a lot of top of the top. So that was one of the biggest things that kind of like drew me. Like I've been seeing what you've been doing. I know you had one artist in Toronto. You were in Toronto, and I think that artist was one of Machine Gun Kelly's artists.
Well, he's not his artist. He's on tour with him.
Oh, he's on tour with him.
Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking it was his artist, but that was one thing that caught my eye, and then the other thing that caught my eye was your son and then my baby. They have the same birthday, and then I went to go heart your picture and tell him happy birthday, but I noticed, that I can say, okay. Yeah. I didn't look, guys. He works with some big names, so I'm over here really trying to make sure I don't say the wrong thing, but Dirk was able to say happy birthday to your son. So I'm like, okay, he's really working. You're really working really hard. So I really wanted to message and even see if you even had time to even be on my small platform to talk to me about that. But I just want to talk to you, really dig into what is life now, being a father and a brother, and then being on the road.
It's a little bit more complicated now because I'm away from my family. But it's all for the greater good, though.
So, with you saying you're away from your family, how many days or how many weeks do you think you would say you are away rather than you are home?
Well, this summer I was just gone for 36 days straight. I just recently got back this week. 37 days.
And then those 37 days, were you all in one location or?
No, we was all across the country.
Well, who were you with during that time?
Andy.
That's the artist that.
That's what Machine Gun Kelly.
So where all did he tour? And what was that? The name of that tour?
Every NBA team you could think of.
Wow.
That's the arenas we were selling out.
So he was in every single during the NBA time. Is that what it was?
No, I'm just saying, like, just giving you the picture, like how the magnitude of how many people was there. We were selling out $20,000 arenas.
Tell me a little bit. Tell me a little bit about him and how'd you get that gig with him?
I mean, my work speaks for itself, so I mean, it's spread like wildfire.
Yeah. Is it because of
just networking?
So when you first got into this, being a bodyguard, what was your first artist or the first gig that you worked with?
With celebrity or
yeah, experience? No, just experience. So like, I want to basically, when everybody's watching, I want to basically have like a timeline of when you started, everyone you kind of worked with, and until now.
So you said, just like I said, it's a lifestyle thing. It was my family.
Okay.
It going to me and my family, and to me getting confident on what I'm really capable of.
Yeah.
Not even just physically, but what I'm capable of, and then it going to like people outside of my family. Then it going to like church.
Oh, okay. So it started with like just the family, then it started with the church. Are you still with the church, or do you have time for that, or you're kind of more so with celebrities?
I'm everywhere, but I'm mostly with celebrities.
With the celebrities now. What are some? Okay, so you had I gotta get his name right because I'm not really familiar with him. The artist that you were just with.
Ian Dior. He's an emo rapper.
So he's an emo rapper. That's pretty different because I interview people and they always say they want to be not in a spectrum of.
Just being, like Juice WRLD.
Yeah.
That's what Juice WRLD was. You know that.
You know what? I didn't even know. Like that would be like what it would be called. That's what's up. I gotta get more in tune with him. I've been trying to. When I watched, some of your stories, I saw that the crowd really loved him. And you were super close too, because he seemed like an artist that liked to jump into the crowd. Yeah. So how did that go for you?
We all got our ways of communicating and explaining what's gonna happen. But
so he let you know ahead of time.
Well, yeah, but you still got to be ready for the unexpected, though.
Like, did anything unexpected happen in those 37 days? Like, anything out of the norm?
Sure, a lot of shit happened unexpected days. With this job. You just got to be ready for it.
Tell me, you know what? That was my next question, really. I was going to say, so security guards usually stand facing the crowd. have you ever looked at whatever's happening on the stage?
So you got house security and you got personal security. They pay attention to the crowd,
Okay.
and that's it. We pay attention to everything, the crowd and the people.
Say that again so that everybody hears. So we have house security and then we have
security.
Okay.
Who do security for the venue you at? You got personal security who focuses on more detail with the client who's performing.
And you would be what?
Personal security.
So you're more personal. So you're on the artist.
Yeah.
Okay. So just a recap, because we got to make sure we're interacting as well with the lives. We have people coming in now. I want you to reintroduce yourself just a little bit again, and then talk about your title, and then we'll go into more questions.
All right, for the people that's just not tuning in, my name is Big L, aka Rio. Yeah, talking about how does it feel to be a bodyguard. That's good enough?
That's good. And then I like how you're smiling too, because I mentioned earlier before we went live, I was like, make sure that you're smiling. And he was like, what did he say? He had said something about this. Yeah.
I mean, that's just my
he goes, this is what I look like. And I was like, you know what, that makes a lot of sense, because when have you ever gone to a concert and you see security walking around doing this? You know what I mean? Like,
but I want you to know this though, security ain't about being tough as hell.
So, okay, I'm glad that you brought that up, because I didn't even think to ask you. So, what is security about if it's not being this tough? Because that's the vibe I get. As soon as security.
So when you're doing personal security, 9 times out of 10, it ain't gonna be no damn ninjas jumping out the ceiling to kill you.
But
it's more about, it ain't that much about physicality.
Okay.
It's more mental than anything. You know what I'm saying? It's mental and energy. Period. It's how you hold yourself. Certain people not gonna approach you any type of way if they feel your energy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's about a whole bunch of other stuff outside of just being physical.
Right. So it is an energy.
Just beating somebody else.
But what?
You gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
Because I was gonna say, I had just saw
that's the last resort.
Okay.
Physicality is the last resort. You do not want to ever have to get physical with nobody. But you have to.
How many times do you feel like that actually happens? Do you feel like you get physical a lot, or is it more so just chill?
9 times out of 10, you control the situation. So it's very rare to get into a physical altercation with somebody.
Somebody said hey to you on my live. You want to make sure you let everybody know what's up and hi.
Oh, that's Chantrice. Hey, Chantrice.
So you said, just so we, can restate that, I really like what you just said. And I'm probably gonna use that as how sometimes I don't know if you ever watched some of my lives, but I'll go in and I'll do little clips of parts that I really like. I really enjoy that you said it's more so your energy, because energy is everything. So people are basically reading your energy, saying like, okay, you know what, let's not fuck with them, is what you're basically saying. So how do you make sure that your energy is giving off that? Is that something that you learned in school?
Just being you.
Just you.
Just being you.
Okay. So it's just you
can't
always
portray to be none of nobody else. Somebody goes to know it, they gonna read it, they gonna feel it. I mean, they gonna sense that feel.
Yeah, that's true. You gotta just be who you are.
Yeah,
Just be who you are. So let me recap some questions. Basically, I had said I've been watching your stories. Oh, I didn't say this. Oh, yes, I did. I said I've been watching your stories and your Instagram, and I saw you were just in Toronto. It wasn't Machine Gun Kelly's artist. It was someone that he's actually on tour with. And I wanted to ask you, though, can you tell us any juicy stories that happened on tour?
Well, another thing about being personal security is confidentiality. So what happened in Vegas stays in Vegas.
That's true.
I can't go into
That's true. That is true. But can you go into some general things? Kind of give us a walk in a day in your life, basically. But confidential. If that makes sense. Tell you something that happened, I'll be lying because there's too much going on. Then what happened. And you just brush it up, and you just let it go.
Yeah, some certain stuff just can't be said.
It's really like that.
Yeah, it's part of confidentiality.
Damn, it's really like that, huh?
That's for sure.
That's cool though. So I was just letting me know, we got the real deal here. So he can't just go and be like, oh, this, that happened. And you know what? I like that you even said that though too, because it shows that that goes into my next question. Like, even though you're working for that artist, is it more than just working for them, or is it becoming like a friendship?
You got to be careful with that.
Okay.
Business is business, and you can't mix the two with each other. It happens.
Uh-huh.
I mean, naturally you're human, so after being with somebody for a while,
right,
you get close to them. You know what I'm saying? It is one of the business as far as like y'all end up doing a bond.
Yeah.
But you gotta know the limits. Because at the end of the day, it's still business.
It's still business. I like that you brought that up. So with you working with that artist on tour in Toronto, how did you guys even get into contact? Was it him contacting you, or did your management contact them? How did that go?
Shout out to my guy X. That's one of my big homies in the industry who does executive protection. Mm-hmm. He connected me with the partner.
So to be like just word of mouth.
It's all about networking.
Networking. So with that being said, do you have more jobs going on after this, or you just wait and find out day by day?
Everything on call. But yeah, I got a lot of more other clients.
And can you speak on that?
You'll see when you see if I post it or let it.
So when we post it,
yeah.
So then that's when we know, because sometimes things could go left and things, so stuff like that.
I worked with all y'all favorite rappers that almost, especially if they're from Chicago. R&B artists as well.
Who were some R&B artists that you worked with?
Anne-Marie.
That's what I was gonna say. She had on the silver pants, right?
No, that's not it. No, that's XO Berry. Shout out to XO Berry.
Okay, and you guys were in London? You were overseas with her. No. Where were you guys? It looked overseas. Yeah, I was out here in Chicago. Oh, really? Like who? So like when they're taking pictures of you, do you know some of the photographers?
And I can't sit here. Shout out to Rich Homie Kwanda too, because she rocked with me super heavy. That's my people's.
Okay.
I do personal security for her with.
And that
I knew her before I was doing it for her.
Okay. So you started working with that person from her?
No. I'm just saying shout out to her because she one of the local famous people that
that you work with. So I'm thinking you were out of the country, so you were really just local. Who were some of the photographers that took the photos of you? Do you get in contact? Like, do you have an idea who they are, or is just people just lights, camera, just around you?
It's a few of them on Instagram. I swear I don't know. I can't think of all their names off the top.
Right.
But I'll be sure to tag them.
When we're all done. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's basically. So basically, I really wanted to interview you because people see that you're doing things, but they don't really get like the life of it. Like the way you upload pictures, you upload videos is looking like, just fun, but this is you away from your family.
Right.
So tell me, like, when you're with your family or you're at home, do you know ahead of time when you're going to go and be gone for so long, or it just happens?
Sometimes it just happens, but for the most part, I get an
advance.
When it's a long period of time, I want to be gone for this visit.
Okay. And when you're gone for a long period of time, what do you kind of prepare yourself to do? Like, do you let your family know you're gonna be gone, or do you have to? How am I wording this? Make sure bills are paid before you go and things like that, or you just?
I mean, everything I prepare. I get everything prepared before I leave. I mean, I do that when I'm here.
Oh, she's taking care of you. Okay, so that's good. So you always make sure that you have home taken care of, and then you go ahead and do what you have to do. So those of you guys tuning in, if you're just now tuning in, I have Head Security here. He worked with a lot of our famous artists that we're familiar with. He's letting us know, how it is on the road, how it is being confidentiality. He can't really say too much on everything because he has a certain bond. You have a bond with the people that you work for. It's not just business. Well, it is business, but you also have that bond.
Confidentiality overall. You just don't need to be putting out people's business.
Yeah.
letting people know what's
So,
going on.
so that was kind of another question. What you're saying, like you're not going to put a lot of people's business out. So, have you had to protect someone that you truly admired so far?
My pastors, Reverend Dr. Helen Carey and Dr. B. Wells, at the School of the Temple, I admire them.
And you had to protect them. And then when you said that you protected the churches, what can you tell us about that? Like, was it like during funerals?
No, not funerals, but people would be surprised, like the threats that religious institutes have. Like it's a lot of threats that come through.
Somebody had a question for you. Somebody had a question for you. They said, does he work alone? Do you work alone?
For the most part, you will work alone, depending on the budget of the client you with. You could be with a group. For the most part, I've always been with a group.
And you guys,
kind of clients I have.
Oh, okay.
They got the budget to afford it.
Oh, okay.
But, so I work solos. I just recently was working with a solo with NBO.
So you were by yourself with that one?
Yeah.
For the 37 days? Mm-hmm. You didn't have no family with you?
No, not this time.
Not that time. Yes. How was that? So when you're alone versus when you're with like family, how do you feel? Does that create like do you feel more secure when you're alone, or do you feel more secure when you have someone with you?
Well, two is better than one any day, but I still feel comfortable with them. Mostly I know my ability, so I know I'm well.
And do you say that you were alone because of his budget, or is it just the way it worked out?
No, I'm just sometimes that's just the way it worked out. But I'm saying most of the time it's because of a budget, or just what the client prefers.
Oh, okay. So why would a client prefer just you opposed to a lot of people? Is it because
depending on their lifestyle?
You just go to the assignment. You don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
If they got a lot of high threats,
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Right. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. So he probably don't have a lot of threats. He really, because like I said, he was an artist that wanted to be in the crowd.
Well, I mean, he a very popular artist, so I mean, he could have threats. It's just that's what he preferred to have one this time. You never know what's gonna happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
3.
Right. So my question though to you is, I looked. What was it? What kind of crowd do you hate the most? That was a question. So like, he's a big artist. He's into that kind of scene. What are you into? So like, when you're with artists, do you see their music? Do you care for the music, or like what do you not like being around? Or have to do it anyway?
Whatever crowd it is, if it's a nice crowd, if it's an aggressive crowd, I act the same way regardless.
What kind of crowd was his? Would you say?
What's it said again?
What kind of crowd was his? With his music, what kind of crowd would you say it was?
I mean, it could vary depending on the song he's playing.
Okay.
It could be mellow, and then it could be everybody doing the I forgot what they call it. When they're in the pit, they get to jump all around.
I saw him doing a lot of that.
Yeah.
He was really into the crowd too. I really liked him. I was feeling old though, looking at him. I'm like, I can't believe I don't know who this is. Like, I was feeling like the old lady.
You'll know who he is.
So is he still up? Do you feel like he's still like on the up and coming side, or is he up? He's still up and coming.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not old. Or So what are some tips for someone though who wants to get into the industry that you're in?
Stay yourself, stay consistent, and just network.
And network. So stay yourself, be consistent, and network. So tell me, in the beginning, when you first got into this industry, what were some struggles that happened? Did you feel like giving up? Was work low? Because you said mentioned earlier that it's on call. So do you feel like it wasn't enough calls in the beginning? Kind of speak on that.
Yeah, and like this reason I did this interview is to uplift people that was in situations I was. I went through some criminal stuff, criminal history where I was found not guilty.
Okay.
Let's make that clear.
Very clear.
But it kind of messed up my the growth in my career.
Okay.
Because I had to get some stuff cleared up before I was able to carry and just do a lot of other things to get my credentials. So I was able to keep going instead of like stopping and just like fuck it.
Yeah.
Because there was times where I wanted to just say forget it, but I'm a true testimony of like, never give up.
I like that. And I could tell that's kind of like sometimes people ask me like, why did I do a podcast, or what made you want to interview people, or things of that nature. But it all kind of happened from it just kind of just happened. Like, I created this because I was going through something, so it was my way of healing. But then I eventually me? Oh, I know that's not right. Thank you. You got me right. It is hot down here. Thank you. It was my way of healing, and then I ended up doing interviews and asking people questions, and people, kind of like that. So then so then when I see somebody of like nature or like doing the same, it kind of draws me to you, and that's why I kind of messaged you and was like, "Would you mind like being on the podcast?" I didn't even know you were gonna message me back. Like I didn't know that you weren't going to, and you quickly did message me back, so I was really happy. But I just wanted to make it known that I saw that you're putting in a lot of work, and I wanted to give you your kudos and make sure that you could be here so that I could just congratulate you and just speak on what you're doing, because what you're doing is not unnoticed.
No, I appreciate that.
And I like that. I want to bring it up again. I like that you have everybody with me, because he was able to get me right real quick. So I'm like, me? So I kind of feel like I'm on like some real production right now. That was love. And I wanted you, people who are just now tuning in, because I still have people just now tuning in, kind of just like speak on everybody that you have here, because at the end we are all going to take pictures, and just speak on like your family, and who's all here with us, and then a little about yourself again.
So again, I got my brothers here, and I got my sister here. Tuned you 2 times. I got my sister Ken, and I got my little brother Zoe. I got my little brother Pookie. All these my little brothers in here, man. Elijah, 40, and Easty. Another thing, I'm the oldest son.
Out of everybody?
That's out
of all the 21?
All of my brothers incarcerated. All of my older brothers.
Okay.
They're incarcerated. They'll be home soon, though. These are some of the reasons, again, like why I'm doing this.
Right.
Because I don't want people to ever like lose hope. Like I'm trying to open doors for them for when they come out.
I love that. And that was definitely gonna be another thing. So basically, the reason why you got into being into the security industry is because of family. Is that why?
I mean, it played a project. I mean, it was just what I was naturally, and I just was able to
make it into an income.
Make it an income.
So we are at just the half-hour mark. At this point, I like to do like a recap, re-ask the questions, just to let everybody, kind of get a run through of what I asked. And then at the very end, I want you to let your live and my live know how to contact you, some of your Instagram, like your Facebook, all your social medias and things of that nature. And then my biggest question that I love to ask everyone is, what do you want to be known for? But you can think of that, or what do you want your legacy to be? But you can think of that a little bit after I kind of do the recap, okay? So basically I have with me Big El Rio. He is executive protection to a lot of our favorite artists, right? And where, you know what? My last question too was, where all have you traveled in this industry? Where all have you been?
Canada was the first international country.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go on tour in September in Europe.
Who's gonna be? Do you know who that's for? Or?
Europe.
Oh, he's gonna go to Europe, and it's gonna be in September.
Yeah.
So all of Europe.
It's a real tour. So we just taking a 2-month break right now.
Oh, so you're just taking a break so you can be with family. Okay, I love that. So how is? Oh, that was one question we couldn't bring up. I was about to ask it, but anyway, I was gonna just say, before I ask. Oh, have you ever been in a dangerous situation, and how have you handled it?
I've been in a dangerous situation all my life. You from Chicago? You always in a dangerous situation.
Let's bring that up though, because another reason with the whole podcast, we got New York, we have Atlanta, we got LA, right? And everybody knows if you're gonna be on, you're gonna go to either of those cities. If you're from Chicago, everybody wants to leave Chicago, right?
Well, I'm definitely leaving Chicago. Let me make that clear. I'm definitely leaving Chicago. I'm not going to be one of these ones to tell you I'm staying at the crib.
So you don't want to stay here?
No.
Where do you want to go?
I don't know. It ain't gonna be Chicago.
So all the places that you've been to so far, where could you see yourself living on?
LA, Houston.
Mm.
I was saying Atlanta, but it's too
I love
much-
Atlanta.
too much going on.
What's going down there? Really? That's my second home. What's wrong with my second home? No, I really like it down there. What's wrong?
I can't work around your world. That's
But
work for you. It ain't gonna work for me.
So when you went down there, what was something that you didn't like about it? Let me re-ask the question. It just wasn't.
I don't really want to speak on it.
It was
But they got a lot going on.
okay.
It's too confusing now.
They too confused. So is it? Did you say like too confusing, meaning like they don't know, like you know how the world doesn't want to say he or she anymore, and they like birth certificates they'll say you can't put genders or something like
Yeah,
that.
but this what you're not finna do. You're not finna have the LGBTQ like banning me. They not finna cancel me. I don't have
Okay.
nothing against
Okay.
LGBTQ. Nobody.
Right, we don't want to be canceled
So-
because he wants to be able to
You
still
know how
work
these-
with any
sometimes
artist.
these bloggers that get you
Yeah,
canceled.
you're right. You're
Puerto
right.
Rico place, I'm not-
Right. That is true, and I love that you're here too because you're getting me, making sure that I'm saying the. First of all, when I do my interviews, like you said, it takes practice. It takes practice. It takes consistency, like you brought earlier. So with you being here, it's kind of definitely helping because some things some things you can say, of course, but then you got to remember you don't want to burn bridges at the same time. So I want to definitely thank you for being here. And I want to get into our pictures soon because that's what I love to do at the end. It's my favorite part is taking pictures. But I want you to kind of like see if there's any questions anybody asks. Only person I really saw was, that's good. Let me see if you have any questions. Congratulations. Love your response. Yeah, it wasn't no more questions. But if you want to just thank everybody for supporting you, for being on this live, we can do that now, and then we can go ahead and drop your social. That angle look much better. That angle is what? What? I wish it was like that the whole time.
This is my first time doing
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that.
I
So,
appreciate it. I'm honored to be on
aw, thank you, and I'm so honored that you're here and wanting to be on my podcast. I really appreciate that. I want you to definitely answer my last question, which was, what do you want your legacy to be, or what do you want to be when you're no longer physically here? What do you want to be known for? Things of that nature, or what do you want your children to, like your last goodbye?
I just want to be known for being me, a genuine, caring person. I love everybody that's around me, in spite of we get into it or not. I love everybody. Know I love them. That's around me.
Mm-hmm.
I make everybody that feel comfortable, who's supposed to feel comfortable.
Oh, I have a good question. Are you living your dream? Thank you so much.
I am.
It looks like it. That's what I'm saying. Like when I messaged him, I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm gonna just message you. And you messaged me back. I was like, ah!
I always have the we already got type mentality. We actually got this clothing line. We got a basketball team. We've been living this.
Who you say you have a clothing line?
No, my brother Greg.
Okay, so then you're speaking on family. Greg and Scooter. We're gonna probably put that on your on my comments and your comments. So when we end it, everybody that you want to shout out, make sure that you can tag them. But when the lives are over, that's when the real editing goes in. Like when you message me like, "What's the link?" I'm like, "What link?" I was actually nervous. I'm like, "Shit, what is the link? I'm supposed to have a link." But what I usually do my Facebook lives, have it interactive. What was your happiest moment? That was a really good question. You guys are doing great. They
Happiest
got
moment as far as
yeah.
like what though?
Yeah, so the person who asked what was your happiest moment, he wanted you to go a little bit into more detail. Happiest moment as in what? No, it's looking good. And I really like that.
I just gotta wait to answer the question about it.
Somebody put, have you ever had to get physical for one of the artists you protected?
Yeah, I have.
And then
But I can't go into detail.
he can't go into too much detail. This is the real deal, you guys. Like, we don't got like some, I almost said rap, like I was Italian. How important is being yourself in the bodyguard field?
It's important with life. It's very important. You got to do that with life.
Yeah, you have to.
That's
like
why the way it is. That's why it's so much of a job shortage, because everybody don't want to be who they are. They don't want to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so basically, before we wrap this up, the message really is to be yourself, be consistent, and execute. It's hard, it's hard as it is, just trying to do what you do every day, but then trying to be somebody you're not, it's not gonna work. So we don't have any more questions, but good question. Does he work alone? So yeah, that was all the questions, so far. But my question, I don't know if you answered it or not, because we got all these other questions. But your legacy, what did you want your legacy to be?
Yeah, I did. I think I did. I just said like
just
caring and just protective and a genuine dude.
And then what about for when you are no longer physically here? What do you want your children to remember?
The same thing.
The same thing. Just genuine, and that you were loved and you loved everyone, even if you guys fell out. That's some Scorpio stuff, because I feel like if somebody fell out with me, I don't love them no more. I don't know. I don't. It depends, but it depends. Like, I am very forgiving. I'm a very forgiving person, but if I keep forgiving you, after a while, I don't hate you. It's just, I just have no feelings. I don't have nothing. It's just nothing there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't hate you. I don't like you. You're just nothing to me. You know what I mean? Like,
I got one of my clients that I protect too with rapper.
Oh, somebody's here?
Yeah.
Who you?
Yeah, Trezor, shut me up.
Ah! Oh yeah, he did say that. He said this I can't wait to take these pictures.
So one of my bodyguard, and I'm his bodyguard.
Oh,
that's
okay.
How it works. He rap though. His name Trezor.
Okay, so
he actually got a single coming out. When it's coming
EP. EP mixtape on the way.
Okay.
Let's ride.
Tell them to find you on IG.
Yeah, y'all search me up 9block_Zoe.
You can come around.
He's
got look. We're getting hearts, you guys. Yeah, you can be right there, and then come in my camera.
Yeah, 9block_Zoe, man. EP on the way. Search me up 9block_. EP should be dropping on 20th or 21st.
She wants her.
Come over here. Come on.
Videos dropping in each EP. Shout out my boy, KJ No Life and Big L. Shout out all the guys.
Oh, look at all the hearts. You're getting love.
9block.
Thank you. So we're definitely gonna make sure when we get this live to take pictures of everybody that's here. We got some big names in the building, and I'm just happy that everybody came and is here to support the podcast, support Big Rio. It took a second to get these cameras together.
We look out for each other and everything.
Yeah.
At the stage, like everybody get their turn. You know what I mean?
I love it. It's not like, but okay, it was. Oh shoot! Look, manager. Hold on. Okay.
Inspiration.
Yes. Got me right, you guys. It's just getting better and better. I got management.
Inspiration was my mama.
Okay, yes.
She used to do security too. At
your mom?
Yeah, with CPS at college.
Wow. So she worked for Chicago Public School.
She did. She just actually retired like a few weeks ago.
Oh, okay. Congratulations, Mom.
Yeah.
So she inspired you to get into the security industry.
She was a part of it. Yeah, she was a big part of it. Well, my brothers as well.
I love everything about that. So before we wrap up, I just want to make sure that you said everything that you needed to say to your life and to my life, because this is the time now. Anybody watching, like any inspirational words or any advice?
So my ultimate goal is, again,
and make sure you're in this camera too,
to just make sure everybody who protecting their block, I want to educate them to transferring it over to a legal matter and being able to do it internationally and don't have to worry about the police or none of that. You know what I mean? I want us to translate a lot of things over in the most legal fashion. You feel me? Be positive, yeah. Like I said, I got all my little brothers around me. I'm waiting until they get to the age where they 21, where they can do they concealed carry. You know what I mean? I wish they had concealed carry when I was 21. You feel me? But I was able to, go through my trials and tribulations and be able to get mine. But I just want to motivate everybody that's not being told this to. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about. Somebody telling you, showing you, and giving you an avenue about what's about everything in life, not just the little shit. And that should be little shit. That block should be little shit. It's a part of the life, you know what I'm saying? But, we grow out there, hopefully, we get a chance to live it out.
I love that you brought that up because that's a lot that's going on right now.
Yeah, for sure.
So you guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We have Big L Rio here, and I just want to thank him for being here. And I want to make a toast too before we end our live. We're getting ready to
don't drink on the job. I'm not working right now, y'all. You hear me? But do not drink on the job.
It's water, right? It's a ginger ale.
It's whatever it is, but don't drink on the job.
Cheers to whatever it was. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this live, you can definitely message me at margaritaswithmargaret.com, or you can message me on my Instagram, Margarita_Margaret2021, and then my Facebook, of course, Margarita Margaret. And then if you need security, or if you enjoy watching this, or you want to just get in tune and follow Rio's world, you can go ahead and follow him on his social medias, which he's going to let everybody know now.
It's at Big L _ no, it's Big_L_Rio.
And that's your Instagram?
That's my Instagram.
Instagram. All right. And then, of course, too, when we end the lives, we're going to go in and then we're going to do your shout outs. You can put everybody's information on those comments and things like that. But thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. All right. Bye.